All roads lead to Avengers Doomsday, or do they? So, both the post-credit scene for the Marvel's Thunderbolts that they've rebranded as the New Avengers, which did absolutely nothing for the box office. There's a scene that is allegedly the Fantastic Four entering the MCU 616 time zone, allegedly. And also, in the Fantastic Four movie, careful spoilers, we're going to see Doctor Doom essentially steal Franklin Richards from Sue Storm. So, yo, what is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the future of Avengers. So if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss the content. Check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the viewer voice. Check us out on TikTok, WWarstu, and check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Right, let's get into it. So, the Marvel's Thunderbolts had a post-credit scene that everyone assumed was the Fantastic Four appearing into the MCU timeline. And it made the internet go, you know, a little bit over the top, realistically, because let's be honest, the movie hasn't even turned $400 million yet, so it lost money. So Kevin Feige was recently asked a question about said scene. And you've got to understand that they're trying to heavily promote the Fantastic Four movie and Avengers Doomsday and kind of get somewhat of a decent box office. So Kevin Feige was asked if the spaceship in the post-credits scene for the Thunderbolts is the same one that we see in the Fantastic Four First Steps movie. Now, what is interesting is a lot of people have alluded to the fact that this is maybe Doctor Doom. Which, I mean, it could be anyone. Like I said, no one really knows. So Feige said this: their ship is the Accelerator, and there is a Fantastic Four ship entering the MCU. But I'm not sure they're the same ship. They don't look anything like the same ship. So I'm not here pretending like I'm going to be the first person to say this, because any person could come up with this theory. So in the post-credit scene for the Fantastic Four movie, we see Doctor Doom essentially going to Sue when she's reading Franklin a story. She goes to get another book, and then boom, some kind of noise, and then we have Doctor Doom with the mask in his hand and Franklin Richards. He's coming to steal Franklin. Why? This is all to do with Doctor Doom, right? Okay, there's many case scenarios here. So I don't think it's Fantastic Four entering the MCU. I don't even think it's Doctor Doom on the ship. But there was a big theory that went around saying, yo, this is Doctor Doom because he's going to have the same face as obviously Tony Stark, who died in the timeline. So whoever gets off the ship, if it is, you know, the same face as Tony Stark, they would trust him. And then loads of, you know, over-the-top people came out and said, no, this is an Avengers Doomsday sequence because it was filmed by the Avengers Doomsday directors, the Russos. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to actually be a sequence in the movie. It really doesn't. Just means they're trying to build hype for their own movie. But I guess the most logical reason would be is on the Fantastic Four set, someone was smuggled onto set. Could be anyone, right? Does that correlate to this? I don't know. Because people seem to think that was a scene for the Council of Doctor Dooms or the Council of Reeds. So there was a rumor going around that we're going to see the original Fantastic Four. You know, with Jessica Alba, with Chris Evans, so on and so forth. So is this the original Fantastic Four entering the MCU? That's probably more likely. That is probably more likely. Because we know based on Deadpool Wolverine and based on the Marvel's post-credit scene, sadly, it does seem like they're just going to put the whole X-Men universe together, you know? So no one really knows who this is, but it's interesting. And of course, lots of creators are going to make out that they were first. But there's one idea out there. What if it is a Franklin Richards from the future who has seen everything, because obviously he's from the future and knows what is coming? Hell, lads and ladettes, there's lots of ideas, there's lots of ways they could actually do this, right? We don't even know if we're actually going to see who gets off the ship, right? And just because Kevin Feige says it's not the Fantastic Four doesn't mean it's not the Fantastic Four. It might just be the original Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba, with Chris Evans, or Doom, realistically. But unless we actually see this sequence, unless we actually see someone get off the ship, it's really just to cause a bit of chatter online. Also, the Accelerator has 3 wings. The post-credit scene has 4, right? So we already knew that it wasn't the actual Fantastic Four ship, or at least Accelerator, right? But everyone, you know, was spinning the narrative that, yo, it's Doctor Doom, it's Doctor Doom. Could be anyone. Still a bit strange that they test screened the Fantastic Four movie in a public test screening just under 2 months before the movie came out. That is a bit weird. But I'm sure whoever gets off said ship, this whole sequence could actually be for the Fantastic Four post-credit scene. You know, we get to see it again, but we actually see who comes off the ship, and then it's Doctor Doom. So we could have 2 Doctor Doom post-credit scenes. The one that we've already heard about, and we could have a different one. Or it could be the original Fantastic Four step off the said ship, and we see the Thunderbolts. Because we know we're going to see the Thunderbolts again, because they're a main part of Avengers Doomsday, and we know we're going to see the Fantastic Four again, because obviously they're a part of the main cast of Avengers Doomsday. So hopefully, we do get to see who comes off said ship, but it'll be interesting because if we don't see who comes off said ship, either in the Fantastic Four movie or either in Avengers Doomsday, then what the freaking hell was the point of this scene? Now, I think the best option would be it's a futuristic, future version of Franklin Richards, as we've seen Franklin Richards lying down on the bed with Sue Storm and with Reed Richards in a slight shot. I'm starting to begin and starting to believe they're showing a little bit too much of the Fantastic Four movie in trailers now. And also, we've finally seen a full rendered version of Julia Gardner's Silver Surfer. And yes, she does look pretty cool. People were butchering her for literally a trailer scene that wasn't complete yet. So, the Fantastic Four movie is tracking. Now, I don't really care for these projections and trackings, but I don't know why the internet seems to care. So it's tracking decent. 125 to 136 opening domestic, which it's not big. It's not small, but I mean, you could say it's a Fantastic Four, but they are the first family, sure. But none of their movies have actually ever done well, have they? No, but obviously ticket sales went mad. But this doesn't really correlate. If ticket sales went mad and they crashed Fandango and a bunch of American websites, why is it only tracking for that? Personally, I don't even think an opening of $200 million domestically is a good opening, because Marvel movies are very front-loaded to the point where if your movie doesn't break even or close to break even in the first 2 weekends, it's not going to. So it's interesting. I would love to know who you think was on the ship and whose ship was it. I know everyone's going to jump on Doctor Doom, but Franklin Richards from the future would make more sense. You know, the OG Foxverse version of the Fantastic Four would make more sense. I don't actually believe it is going to be the Fantastic Four from the Fantastic Four movie, because they're coming up in the movie, so that kind of would be pointless. So I want to start going over more stuff like this. This is kind of, I guess, theories, going over ideas, and of course, it's the internet. People are going to make out, they said it first. But like I've always said, lads, everything comes from Reddit. Really does. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Got a page over there, a channel over there where I can post set leaks. I can post much more stuff because the guidelines on YouTube is very strict. Also, I've recently started posting on TikTok, Warstu over there. Tried to get the Warstu handle, but of course someone has taken it. I will be posting real videos over, well, not real videos, but, you know, TikTok-based videos over there, because I can't cover as much content over here as I can. I've also been posting much more Instagram Reels. Also, Twitter, WarstuG over there. I get it, no one likes Twitter, my smallest platform by a mile. But if you do want to follow me on Twitter, it's WarstuG. So like always, guys, thank you very much for all the love and support. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Turn notifications on, and we'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.